God's people. You look so much better when you smile. So smile. Now every day ain't gonna be perfect, but it still don't mean today don't have purpose. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. This is Monday morning with Rodney. I want to talk to you this morning about giving birth. Know how sometimes they start these trends on these social websites, and all these things go forth, and these phrases and saying. And I know last couple of weeks I've seen a lot of the things about pregnant, craving this, craving that. But I want to talk to you about giving birth. God has planted something on the inside of you that He wants you to do. And see, he plants it inside of us and allows it to stay there and to grow. And once it comes to full term, we are supposed to go out and do what it is. We're supposed to go out and begin to allow this thing to grow and to germinate and to turn into what God wants it to be. A lot of times, though, God places stuff in our lives and we become afraid to do it. God has planted something on the inside of us and we're still sitting on that and not doing what God wants us to do. And the whole idea of it was He wants to use you. He wants to use you as a carrier. He wants to use you as a vessel for His word. He wants to use you for a vessel to help somebody else along the way. But if we're afraid to do what He has called us out to do, it's inside of us already. God places things inside of us. He's like, this is what it's gonna be. Even from birth, even from when we were young kids and everything, God placed something inside of us. And at a certain point in time, we're supposed to go forward with it. Why haven't you planted that ministry? Why hadn't you became a part of this? Why hadn't you spoke up about this program? Why is it that you're still sitting on these ideals and these items and projects and ministry and the work of the ministry? You're still sitting on that, and it's hurting the people, because the people may need what God has placed inside of you to be birthed so that they can too enjoy and the fulfillment of the ministry. God has placed something inside of you, and you know it. You know on the inside of you what God has asked of you, what He has told you, but you're afraid of what the people around you are going to think. You're afraid that you're going to be rejected about that. You're afraid that, it's not going to be what you want it to be. But trust me, if God has placed it inside of you, and He has allowed it to sit there full term, now you have to present it. You have to birth it. Have your baby shower then. Get ready. Let them know that you're getting ready to bring something forth that God has placed in your life that you want to bless other people with. So we're talking about a birth. We're talking about a blessing. When we're talking about our birth, we're talking about rejoicing. When we're talking about our birth, we're talking about something that's coming forward that God has given us to grow and to turn into something else bigger. He didn't say, because I planted it in you and asking you to give birth to it, male or female, giving birth to this idea, to this ministry, to this thing that's going to help the people of God or help in your community. But He said, I'm going to place it in you, allow you to bring it forth. Now, and then even when it comes to a child, mother gives birth to the child, but then there's family members that help and assist, and then they begin to grow and to learn, and they turn into this wonderful thing that we're crazy about. That's our babe. They grow up and do all these great and wonderful things. The same thing with this ministry. The same thing with these programs. The same thing that are situations or something that you may see needed. You may know it's needed. You see it, you feel it, you think it, you just afraid to bring it forward. He didn't say you was going to have to do it by yourself. You're not going to be a single parent. You're not going to be a single person involved in this. You're going to bring it forward so it can bless others, and others will help you along the way. But we have to be willing to give birth to it. If you have an idea and you feel like it's going to help, it's going to benefit, why not speak up about it? If there's something missing in your service, something missing in your worship, something missing in your community, you may be the missing link that's just waiting to give birth to what everybody else will jump on board and then think of, I couldn't figure out how to put it together. So he says, bring it forward. Stop sitting on it. Stop sitting on it. Don't be the one to let life pass you by. Don't be the one to let these things just sit inside and you don't do anything with it. Because God is using you. He wants to fill you. He wants you to be that man, that woman of God that's going to be able to stand boldly and say, this is what the Lord wants us to do. This is an idea that I have. We can try it. If it doesn't work, we scrap it. But if it does, at least you have done your part of putting it out there. You cannot just simply sit back and wait. Even in the Bible, how God placed things inside of his people. Like Abraham, it was placed inside of him that he would go out, that he would have the faith. The faith was planted in him that when God called him out as Abram, that he will go out and become the father of many nations and become Abraham. It was in there. It was placed in Joseph in the Old Testament that he would be king. But if he did not speak about his dreams and allow his brothers to be angry with him, because that's what they became about, the dream that he had, is that they would bow down, they would worship him. They'll bow before him. And the brothers got upset about that. So they cast him into the pit, sold him into slavery. He went through all those things to give birth to he would one day be the ruler. But he had to come forward and tell him of the dream that he had. So don't think that you're in this alone. Because there's thousands of us out here who God is placing things inside of. You're the empty vessel that he fills up. And once he fills you up, that's your full turn. And he'll let you know it's time to go forward. So just think about it today. Birth the things that God has given you. Don't be afraid anymore. God wants to use you. So let's let him. Let God have his way. They say the phrase, let go and let God. Let go and let God. Speak the words. Present it. Give it up. Let them know that I just want to be obedient and bring God glory. So that's my time for today. God bless you. I love you. Keep your head up. And whatever you do, never give up. Bless you.